Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what is going on? What up, what up, what up? I see all you happy hashers sliding on in, guys. Sorry for not pumping out the notification out a little earlier. I like to get that out a little earlier, but I was sitting there and building a chicken coop for chunkins that I will be getting in about a month. Or a little over a month, something like that. I think it's not next month, but the following month, like on the 13th or something like that. So it's like a month and 2 weeks, whatever. But we had ordered up a little chicken coop. The wife wanted to make sure that she's like, hey, can you build it so that I know that everything's there, nothing's damaged, and it goes together really nicely. And I'm like, alrighty then. So got that done today. Yo. I made like a little vlog status on there. Man, my camera looks like it's way up there. I did move this, so sorry guys. You're gonna go for a little ride here. I got it like angled wrong. Usually I like to keep myself either in the middle of the shot or a little above, you know, whatever. But thank you everybody for being here. Definitely smash that Lizzie like button as you're sliding on in. Hit the bell notification, all that good stuff, guys. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Yo, so check this out. The Trading View. You guys aren't familiar with it. It's free. It's just a tool that you can use to kind of help give you information so that you can make the best decision for yourself on what you think the market's going to do next. It's not that you're able to predict the market. It's still you're still playing the odds, so you're still gambling. So if you like to gamble a little bit here, if not, just DCA into Bitcoin and you're good to go. You have no issues if you just DCA into that Bizity Bitcoin and put it into your own wallet and just forget about it. What's up, dude? What's going on, my dude? What's up? What's up? It's like shout it out to all the awesome people out there. I'm just saying. I didn't even. It's like I have this thing called Twitter now that I haven't had it in so long. I forget that I have that as a tool of at my disposal. So let me scroll this down. All right, here we go. Bam. Copy link. I think that will work. Probably not. Knowing my luck, it's not going to work properly because that's just how Hey, it worked. No way. Yes. Finding. And tweet that out. Bam. So I just tweeted it out. Yo, there we go. Bam. Just like that. I just tweeted it out. So if you guys are following me on the Twitters, it's Nemesis2. The number 2. Go check me out up over there. I'm AKA the Mad Miner. Come check me. It's like I just tweeted it. So if you can, give that a retweet. Send that all out there, guys. Yo, I got to remember that I'm back on the Twitter universe. So, yo, that is awesome. Awesome. He's like, I just come to say hello and good night. I am off to bed and smash that Lizzie like button. Yo, that's what's up. Dude, you are awesome. You are the man. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Good night to you, my brother from another. So, let's go ahead and dig right on into it. So, S&P 500 is kind of trading sideways. NASDAQ's trading sideways. Bitcoin's down 1.32%. Dollar's trading sideways. Dow Jones is trading sideways. Russell 2000 is trading sideways. Most of your stocks are basically doing the same thing. Meta is oddly up, but I would expect that to have a heavy pullback, so don't be piling into Meta. I do not look at Facebook as a good investment long term. And whenever you see the 3 to 4% pump, you already missed it. Don't be chasing the hype train. You'll always be let off in wrecked city. Crypto market cap in general went down almost 1.5%. Most of that coming out of that busy Bitcoin. Ethereum's coming down pretty good too. Avalanche, who cares about? They're down like almost 4.5%. Uniswap is almost up 0.75%. I mean, I guess if you're going to take gains, you're going to take gains. But if you bought more towards the peak of the hype on there, you're still upside down. So you're going, come on, keep coming up. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. And then you see Bitcoin going down. You're like, crap. Because you know that, like, you see Bitcoin pull back and you're like, yep, bull run for this one's over. Uniswap's going to pull back here. So they're just probably riding out just like a smaller little hype train that's kind of going through their little community. You'll see that from time to time. To me, it's nominal. If you bought in around those ranges, then you could kind of arbitrage it a little bit. Outside of that, to me, it's a dumpster fire. Bitcoin doing what Bitcoin does best, guys. So, yes, I have called it, guys. Absolutely called it. I just didn't know when the beginning of the pop-off was going to happen. I thought back here that it was going to come down just a little bit, see a little fake out. I was hoping to see a fake out because usually in a fake out, it pops up. It would have propped up a little higher. But we didn't get any real fake out, so it came up, cooled off, came up, cooled off, retraced a little bit, which is fine. People at these levels here all were needing to get out. They were like, oh my God, I'm not losing money. I'm selling before I lose any more money. And it popped down, comes back up. I told everybody it's not that it's getting rejected off of the $25,000 per Bitcoin metric. It's not that. I will guarantee you that it's not that. What it is there's enough sellers in this range that are sitting there putting enough downward pressure onto this. And then there's going to be enough buyers that are going to combat that in this range here. This is that range where institutional money likes. You're seeing that the market is at that $25,000 range. We are off the bottom. Anytime that you come off the bottom, you're only going to be able to see the value of that asset class at that point start going up. It doesn't usually sit there and just roll over. So I think that we're going to see another spike up here, guys. But we're going to hold on to this $24,000 to $22,000 range here, where we're just sitting above that median line of where the average Bitcoin price should be historically. So I mean, we're right on track. We're establishing a high. We're above average of where the median line is, which means that there's a lot of sentiment a lot of, how can I put it, like market confidence. There we go. So there's more market confidence at these levels right now than there are actually below these levels. When you go below these levels, that's where you start seeing people hesitate on getting in because they don't know where the bottom floor is. They don't want to get in and 2 seconds later watch it drop out. I would rather sit there, watch it hit the bottom, maintain the bottom, pop up a little bit, and then start dipping my toes in. Michael Saylor initially started buying into Bitcoin right around $29,000 per Bitcoin. I think his average price was like right around that $30,000 per Bitcoin. So Michael Saylor, who bought most of the Bitcoin that was mined at last year, is not making any money on any of the Bitcoin that he's got. You know, he bought it through the whole height of the market. You know, he bought in before the top of the last bull market at 69,000, whatever it was, $68,000 per Bitcoin, and his average buy-in was like around 30,000 to 32,000. And I know that he bought more as the price came down because that takes his overall average and tilts it down. He's trying to get his average under 30,000. If he can do that, you know he's doing good. What's up? He's like, I watched all the ads. Yo, old resistance, new support. 20,000 was never really a resistance point, though. That's what's really funny. So we are now just establishing a support line at the bottom of this $20,000 market. I think this is a very healthy retracement going into it. We can bobble around here for the next month. I would be happy. It's like, but I think we're going to sit there, and with the way that the trend is going right now, I think that we're going to see it kind of flutter around and start slowly picking up. And I hope that the rise going up this time is not so fast. It's like a nice, slow, steady rise is nice. It's like, and what's even nicer about this is that even with it rolling over here, it rolls over, it puts in a higher high and a higher low. That is establishing a upward trend, and it's more gradual than it started off. So I think we are in the next bull cycle. And I think it'll be I think this is Bitcoin trying to price in. This is just my theory about it, okay? I could be wrong. But if you look at the historical charts, Bitcoin typically has a price in index when we get closer to a halvening. Just saying. So we are getting closer to another halving, and here we are going into another bull cycle. And what's going to be funny is this going to be if we can put in another peak before the halvening. This will be the first time in Bitcoin's history that we've had a triple top within the 4-year cycle. Typically, we've seen a single peak to a double peak. Kind of hit and miss on that, right? But typically it's a single peak. You have a single historic high. If we can do it again, it'll be the first time in Bitcoin's history that we have put in a triple top within a 4-year cycle. That's got to mean something. To me, that's like showing that Bitcoin cycles are starting to happen closer together. The frequency of this is starting to happen faster. And to me, that's a bullish sentiment. That I could be wrong. I mean, I'm just a boob tuber. What do I know? You know, what do I know? So to me, I mean, this is the stuff that I've been looking at. You know, you guys are looking at times to buy in. I'm not telling you when to buy. I DCA. I either DCA with my hash rate, or I'm DCAing with any extra cash I may have. I will buy a little bit of Bitcoin with it each and every time, even if it's only $10 a week. I'm just telling you what I do. It's like I'm gonna sit there and help push this market up $10 at a time if that's what it takes. uh, so let's get into some of the hardware news, guys. Yo, check this out. The Galax welcomes the 4080 Hall of Fame edition. It looks like Galax with their Overclock Lab editions they're just going to start cranking out because they got no other competition. I think they're trying to fill the void that between them and EVGA. You know, I think they're trying to fill that void, and I applaud them for this. You know, I'm not really big on their little crown thing, you know, but there's nobody else that's standing up and competing with these guys. Nobody else wants to sit there. I mean, granted, us extreme overclockers are a very niche base of people. But when they are offered, and, you know, some of us extreme overclockers have that ability, we'll buy more than one of them. Because we're trying to find the best of the best out of the group that we get, right? And knowing that they're all limited editions. Like, I've got 3 Kingpins. I've got 3 3090 Kingpins. You know, people who are getting the Galax, getting these cards too, they're buying more than one of these things because they're in hopes that there's one out there that is like the mother of all overclocking, and they can get that knock it out of the park numbers. Now we all understand that Galax is going to keep the single card that performs better than any of the others. But you also know that every time you start pulling these things under liquid nitrogen and pushing the power like they are through these cards, that you run the risk of cracking the die on there, melting the solder balls behind the chip, and if it shorts out internally behind it, it might not be recoverable. So, I mean, if you guys watched Gamers Nexus, he went to Kingpin and showed them doing an overclock of one of the few engineering samples. One of the few engineering samples that and was overclocking and got an incredible number with it, and then broke the card. And they had to transfer the chip over to another PCB because it was the problem was in the board. It's like, that's the stuff that you get when you're trying to just absolutely push the card to the limits. You run into where the board can't handle all that power. It was designed for it, but then again, it wasn't. I mean, there are limitations within the hardware itself, and it's a playground that I've always wanted to get into, and I know what the risks are behind it, and it's good to see that there's still a company out there that's tailoring to people like myself. Now, is it practical for mining? No. Is it cost efficient to grab one of these for mining? It depends. I mean, if it's the same price as a standard 4080, I would grab it, you know, because these are going to be super bins. These are going to be the bin of the bin of the bins, right? So you're going to be looking at chips that can handle higher frequencies. All of my Kingpins have about a 5% uptick in hash rate for the same wattage as the non-Kingpins. So just kind of put it in perspective of that. So if you can get a killer deal on these, but again, these are going to be overclocker specials. So I mean, they usually come with the overclock special price, and they go from expensive to holy cow, that's expensive. It's like the bin. Oh yeah, the bin of the bins of the bins of the bins. So these These cards are going to be able to handle pretty good boost frequencies onto this. 2,640 boost and through the Hall of Fame Panel 3. So, it's like you might be able to get a little bit more once you start getting it cold. The trick is that you've got to get the CPU cold without getting the memory too cold, because if the memory gets too cold too quick, you'll start having memory bug issues. So it's like a fine line with these with the 3000 series. The memory and the memory controller are not friendly. And it's like I preferred myself to be doing it with the Kingpins, just because I understand the platform. I've done more research with the platform and how to play with those ones. Not so much on the Galaxy Hall of Fame editions, but still awesome stuff. You're gonna have all the same panel pinouts. It's still a GPU at the end of the day, right? But what's nice is, let's see here. Somewhere on the board, there should be a pinout section where I can pin out probes into the card and see if it shows it to me anywhere. I do not see it. Yeah, I don't see it. Boom. They don't show it on these. It's probably at the very... Oh, it's not even at the very end here. I don't even see it. Huh. They must not give like a plug-in adapter for it. That's another thing I like about the EVGA Kingpins. It's actually got the connector already soldered into the board, and they give you the pinout, and you just plug it in, and you're good to go. Yeah, I thought I saw it here, but then when I blow up the picture, it's the cooler that I'm looking at. Boo. So I wonder how you can get your data probes onto this thing and actually take a look at temperatures and all of that stuff. Interesting. And then if you guys are into it and you're looking for a little bit better performance with your gaming rigs, guys, and you got the new RTX, so RTX Video Super Resolution is now available. So it's basically, it allows you to have the RTX on there without the AI. So it's not going to do all the AI upscaling on there. So this is going to be raw RTX. So it's just going to make it's just going to be boom, popping, really nice, really good video resolution on this. But you're not going to get the AI adjustments on there. You'll still get you'll still have your ray tracing. It'll enable the ray tracing still, but you're not going to get the AI upscaling with it. So if you've got a lower tier card, this is going to be what you want. So if you got like a 4060, I'm sure it'd even help out with the 3000 series. I'm sure of it, because it's not going to have the depending on which cards you got, depends on how much AI you have in your card anyway, for your upscaling. So this will be, it is. It's for the 40 series and the 30 series. So you can have higher quality and not take the AI hit if you don't have if you don't have a 3090 or a 4090 where you've got all the core, everything, you got the monster card. Maybe super resolution would be a better quality experience for you. Especially if you don't have a really good 4K monitor. Somebody that's going to be grabbing a 4090 is going to have it, probably at least one 4K monitor typically. Me myself, I've got a 3080. I grabbed the 3080 Ti, but I grabbed it because I was testing for mining and find out that this card, even when it's not mining something else and all the unlocks are on it, it's still kind of not worth mining on it. I mean, it makes money, but not as much as I'd like to see it for the amount of money I paid for. I mean, I bought it at the height of the GPU market at $2,000 for a 3080 Ti. That's more than most of the 4090s that I purchased. I mean, not 4090s, 3090s. So this will work out really well for people who do not, that have the lower tier cards in the 40 and 30 class. So I'll definitely be checking some of this out if I have any game titles that offer this. Check out having full RTX on, everything enabled on it versus just having the super resolution on, and see if it gives me better frame rate, because that's basically what you're wanting to do. Is like, you want to get that better resolution on your game, but not take the frame rate hit. And this might be the way to do it, because if your AI accelerator in your particular GPU isn't high enough to push the frame rate, you're going to take a frame rate hit. And it's just how it's going to be. And this might be the solution to it in the short term, until hardware starts catching up to what NVIDIA is trying to push out with the full ray tracing experience. Then we can kind of get into some of this, guys. Yo, bam. Crypto lawyers flame Gary Gensler over claims that all cryptos are securities. So Gary Gensler came out and it said that he's like, everything that's not Bitcoin is a security. And bro, that's the first time that man has been honest in this space since I have been paying attention to it. That is the most honest thing that he has ever said. And man, all the poop coiners out there are now having they're having a heart attack over that being said. Now you're going to sit there and come after us. Because of FTX, you're coming after all of us, but not Bitcoin, huh? Why not Bitcoin? It's like, Bitcoin doesn't pass the Howey test. All of you guys do. Every cryptocurrency out there, because Bitcoin is not cryptocurrency. Bitcoin's Bitcoin in my book. Bitcoin is the only thing out there that does not pass the Howey test. Period. There is nothing out there that the SEC should not be going after. They should not be products that anybody in the United States should be offered according to U.S. securities laws. That this is exactly the stuff just because it doesn't say crypto in it, or it doesn't have the crypto lingo in the bills, doesn't mean that it cannot be applied here. And just because you think it's old, antiquated, outdated stuff, turn around and look at all the things that turned out to be rug pulls, all the investments that were out there that they had security issues built in their software that allowed exploits, and people lost millions of dollars because of it. If the SEC had applied all of these rulings and regulations to most of the space, most of you guys here in the United States would have never been able to have the option to play with it without going onto an unregulated exchange. And at that point, you have to assume all responsibilities because you went out of your way to do that. The problem is that Gary Gensler is going after is that he's not going after the unregulated exchanges because he has no jurisdiction over that. It's going to be Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, all the little companies that are offering crypto directly to the U.S. public. Binance US, all of these people are going to be slapped with. They're going to come down with a boom unless something changes and changes course on what Gary Gensler is, how he is applying all the rules and regulations. That's going to take federal oversight to come in and make federal rules, new rules and regulations on this. Until then, Gary Gensler is within his duties of his job to do exactly what he's doing with all these other cryptocurrencies out there. It does not matter what it is. Input your favorite crypto in there. It passes the Howey test, period. So unless there's an exclusion that comes out that could potentially shield the cryptocurrency, crypto itself from the SEC, I don't know how anybody's going to be able to go, any crypto lawyer is going to be able to stand up against Gary Gensler when he just goes, Howey test. You passed. So there's crypto lawyers that are weighing in on Gary Gensler's crypto regulation claims, saying that the Securities and Exchange Commission has no legal standing to police the space. And they're not policing the space. These are investable assets that these lawyers are basically trying to say that the SEC has no rights and regulations to be able to apply to what's being offered directly to the public. And that's basically what the SEC is doing. It's like, it's not saying that they can't exist. It's just that they can't exist and offer what their product to the public. It's not like Dogecoin, right? We'll take Doge for an instance. The product is Dogecoin. The product has nothing to do other than to be a meme. It's not supposed to do anything special. It's not supposed to do anything, period. It wasn't supposed to really survive the way that it has in the beginning. It was put together as a joke, right? And with that being said, it still in itself is a security, because it's the way that the risk is unloaded onto the people. So it's like the way, unless something changes in regulation, the Howey test can be applied to every crypto out there, and they all pass. It doesn't matter that, the mining is decentralized. So what? The company itself is centralized. They either did a pre-mine, or they did a initial coin offering, or they did they just minted a whole bunch of coins for themselves. XRP. It's like, so be careful of what you guys are going to be investing in crypto wise until there's like a little bit more regulation, a little bit more clarity in how it is going to be with the landscape of crypto in the United States. If you are wanting to sit there and get into anything outside of Bitcoin, right? It's like, yes, I'll buy Bitcoin on Coinbase. I'm not buying anything else on there. Or I'll sit there and buy some Bitcoin off of Swan Bitcoin. My man Corey over there that owns the company, Bitcoin only, no noise. He doesn't have to worry about regulators because he's doing things properly. And there's no other noise, no other noise. It's pure Bitcoin. So you don't have to worry about, oh my God, I watched that coin go up, I missed out. It's like, let these people sit there and go over to their shit coins, and they can go play in the casino over there. Some will win, most will get wrecked, and I'll sit there and just kind of slow and steady wins the race. I'm playing a marathon. I'm not trying to do a sprint. And that's where a lot of people have a lot of issues, is that they fall into the category that they do a sprint instead of playing the long game, and it's a marathon. It's like, what's the odds of what crypto you're looking at is going to be here in 1 year, let alone 10? And when it's here for 10 years, what's the price? Because I'll tell you what, since the beginning of 2018, I've seen a lot of coins come and go out of the top 10. And a lot of those coins went to zero. They very rarely ever regain back into the top 20. Once they fall out of that top 20, they're done. You know, have I invested into some horrible choices? Oh yeah. And it was because I was trying to understand the market, how the market moves. So a lot of these stuff I did back in 2018, I made these mistakes. So whenever you come into a new market, it's perfectly fine to understand and play with it. And then once you start understanding and playing with it, then you start taking the stance that I do, where I just don't play with it no more. It's just a lot of losing. Have I won? Oh yeah, I've made money off of gambling, but it's not the norm. You don't win enough to make it really worth it and sustainable long term. That's why I don't do it. Just sit there, I mine, and then what I mine, I try to convert into that sweet Bizity Bitcoin as quickly as possible. But getting back onto, it's like they have people that are now trying to be cynical over Gary Gensler, saying, he's been sitting there kind of turning a blind eye to this whole market this whole time. And now they're trying to say opinion is not the law, is what they're trying to cite now. And it's like, no, it's the Howey test. It's literally the Howey test. All you got to do is take X coin, whatever it is, and then take a look in what the Howey test is, and you'll find that if it can pass one of the 4 sections of the Howey test, it's a security. And any one of these non-Bitcoin derivatives, ultra poop coins, every one of these is just another derivative of a security in some way, shape, or form. And no matter how much they want to sit there and, oh no, it's not. So sorry to pop anybody's boat on that one. It's like whatever. One person, the chair Gensler may have prejudged that every digital asset aside from Bitcoin is security, but his opinion, which it's not, these are how regulations work, is not the law. The SEC lacks the authority to regulate any of them until it proves its case in court. They don't have to prove any case in court. Sorry. For each asset, every single one individually, one at a time. And let's say SEC wanted to do that. That would mean that while they're embattled in court, it cannot be offered in the U.S. market at all. So I applaud Gary Gensler to wrap up all these people into litigation, make them all come to court, make them all prove themselves before they can be listed here in the United States. Please, yes, and thank you. It's like, how much scams would be just yeeted immediately? You would see all these scam coins never be listed in the United States because they couldn't pass the Howey test. They couldn't even pass enough to be able to go into a courtroom to prove themselves in any way, in any capacity. What up, Nerd Beast? Hey man, hope all is well. For sure, hope all is good with you too, my dude. Hope things are good with you, for sure. So, the SEC doesn't lack the authority. They just might lack the manpower to go after each and every single asset individually, one at a time. But they can prevent it from being listed on a public exchange for the general public to be getting involved with. I think it's been far too long that these exchanges said that we can self-regulate, and now that you have FTX that blew up, that shows that they cannot be self-regulated, and that they pissed off the government, and now the government's going to do what the government does best, which is overregulate. This is how you piss off the wrong people, and they will stifle innovation. Now you have all these lawyers crying, going, "Oh, you're gonna go after us." It's like, yes, thank your Sam Bankman fraud. Scam Bankman fraud did this to each and every one of you. It like, people don't realize you have a big enough of a catastrophic event that happens, you're gonna piss off the right person, and everyone's gonna suffer from it, not just you. Right, unless you funnel money to them, the old Gary looks the other way. And your parents have to be alumni with Gary too. You know, good friends with that Gary Gangsler. You can get away with a few extra things. But he took that opportunity and wasted it. Absolutely wasted it. He could have sat there and set something up beautiful and not had any regulational oversight over what he was doing, and just like put together a great crypto company that could have actually competed with Binance. But no, this kid has to go F that all up. Yep. And then when he effed it up, he freaking pissed off the bear. Gangsler got pissed. Now, by all rights, he should be coming after every cryptocurrency out there. And it's going to happen now. I mean, there's a lot of OG Bitcoiners that have been asking for this one. I'm not sitting here saying that, you know, we need to have it like a full-on sweep, but I think in the U.S. markets, at least, I think it should, there should be somebody pumping the brakes on the whole crypto scam industry coming into the United States. Bad actors are plentiful in the crypto space. That's how you still know we're in the Wild West. We're early on, guys. So I mean, to me, this is a good thing. That means that there's plenty of opportunities left here in this space. Lots of volatility left in this space. And for anybody who understands trading and understands things in the long term, these are good things to have. For sure, nerd. Some regulational clarity would go a long way for crypto, but if you really think about it, the regulational clarity is there, but it's in the traditional market. It just doesn't say crypto. It says stocks. You know what I'm saying? So the regulation's there. They just need to apply it now, you know, and be like, hey, all the same rules and regulations on stock, crypto, same, done. And you'll watch the innovation get stifled a little bit in some areas, and then you'll see innovation blossom in others. And the reason why I say that is that you'll have more of a grouping of coders getting together and making better, robust products that don't pass the Howey test. That's all these guys need to do, is just make a protocol that doesn't pass the Howey test. Learn what the Howey test is and make sure that no part of the business passes it in any facet. And you're good to go. Done. I mean, what do I know? I'm just a boob tuber. You know, so I mean, I'm a guy that understands business. And if my business is to get my crypto asset in your hands, I'm going to do the research, and I'm going to make sure what I'm doing is not going to be stopped by any particular government that I plan on releasing that token into, whatever market it is. It shouldn't be make it and go onto the market it goes, right? And hope that somebody digs it, you know? No. You're talking about a complete grassroots of a Bitcoin approach to that. Not going to happen. It's, you know, like, you're not going to see a lightning strike twice in the same in the same and down the same road, right? So with that being said, you're going to be, you know, it's like you're going to have to make a product that's no ICO, you know, no initial coin offerings, no pre-mine, no pre-sale, you know, no expected rate of return, none. These people that market these coins going, yeah, you buy this and it's moon. As soon as they said that, it's a scam. Well, I mean, first, it's a scam. But two, the moment they say that and they're a representative of the company, they are now giving an expected rate of return. I buy this, it goes up. It's now a security due to their marketing alone. And once you market it like that, there is no taking it back. The internet remembers. So it's like, exactly, nerd. Exactly. That's what and it's like, and in my opinion, I agree with Gary Gensler, his you know, his insight on everything that's not Bitcoin is a security because of the way that all these coins got launched. You're not talking about fair launches. You're not talking about a grassroots mining community. You know, you're talking centralization and some messed up entities. The core fundamentals is centralized. There's some kind of ill marketing done on there from the team itself at some point in time. I mean, it is so stupid, and how this is where people get irritated with trying to be listed publicly on the stock exchange, you know, like the New York Stock Exchange, because all these same regulations get applied to them. It's not something new. It's just that people in crypto thought that they were going to be able to get around that aspect, and you can't. It's not like all is lost, right? It just means that it shouldn't be openly offered here in the United States. So Coinbase should not be listing this stuff. Period. If Gary Gensler says, "Hey, look, this passed the Howey test, it's security. This didn't pass the Howey test, it's not a security," you know, and they apply all the rulings equally across, like how they do with the stock exchange versus crypto. It should be applied equally. There is no difference here. It's like, we as some of the core users of some of these projects, we understand that it's much more than just a tradable asset. We understand there's code behind here that functions and does something that we need it to do. Unfortunately, when you're going to buy it on an exchange, they don't look at it as, oh, I'm going to the currency exchange and I'm gonna exchange my euros for pounds, or my pounds for US dollars, my US dollars for whatever coin, right? It's not like that. That's not how they're looking at this stuff. They're looking at it as, you're going to an exchange, you're going to exchange your money for an asset that now becomes in the same category as stocks. And that's where people kind of, they want to split hairs. Well, this isn't stocks. It's like, then stop trading it like it's stocks. Because that's what a vast majority of this market does, is it trades it like stocks. So if you want to prove that to them that it's not stocks and that it's money, it needs to be moved around as money. And unfortunately, it's just an asset, because it's an asset class. At the end of the day, it sucks. It's the landscape that we all have to play in the United States here. I think that a lot of these coins that are being offered out should be vetted a lot better by the SEC. And it's like if these companies want to be listed in the U.S., they need to talk to Gary Gensler and make sure that, hey, everything's on the up and up. If they think that they're so here's my rebuttal to these guys, right? If you think you can pass the Howey test, walk up to Gary Gensler yourself. Don't beat around the bush. Go right up to Gary Gensler and be like, look, this is my company, this is my product, this is all the information. I believe we should be allowed to be traded here in the United States. We do not pass the Howey test. Here's all of our information, and give it to them. Simple as that. You think you are on the up and up? Go right to the bull and give it to him. Give him what he's needing. Let him rifle through the information. If you pass, congratulations, you pass. But it's like just come up and be regulated. If you want to be on an exchange like that. Otherwise, you're not part of the U.S. market. And it doesn't mean that you don't get traded. It just means that you're on a decentralized exchange that has no regulations on it. There you can go buy any coin you want, but hey, guess what? You can't offload that into dollars. If you're going to be crying about that, then you really just don't understand how to move your crypto around properly, in my opinion. And stop crying. Learn how to do it better. Is the way that I'm going to look at it. I mean, yeah, you love me or hate me over that one, right? But if it's like it's a product that should not be directly offered to the public. Make the public, if they want to get involved with it, they're going to have to hopscotch. Why, in my opinion, do I think that they should have to hopscotch here? Because it forces them to learn a little more about the product that they're going to be utilizing. And if they lose their money, it's on them 100%. The U.S. did its job to protect them from stupid. And if you go to bypass their regulations, if something stupid happens, stupid's going to happen. Period. So, I mean, I don't cringe when I start hearing stuff like this. I've been sitting here saying about time. Now you're just gonna get all the shit coiners that are gonna be crying because they know that puts them on their favorite coin on the chopping block. I don't care. Let them cry. It just means that they are not going to be able to be directly offered here in the United States. If that's a problem, and they think that they're legit, and they think this is an issue, then they've got a misunderstanding of how the market works. A free market will find out something useful, and it will purchase that useful item. If it is not useful, the people will not seek it out nor buy it. So, yeah, you just got a lot of people with their overheated opinions of what the SEC's job really is, and that is to regulate what is being offered through exchanges. And check this out. This is why I tell people, don't be using this stuff, this DeFi stuff. I mean, centralized DeFi. 700,000 drained from BNB chain-based DeFi protocol launch zone. BNB chain-based DeFi protocol launch zone claims in an exploit that led to a $700,000 of funds being drained from its liquidity pool, with its native token plunging in value. We've been here before, haven't we? So that's why I was sitting there telling people, don't leave your stuff over there. Don't leave it in the DeFi stuff. You're in the gulag of casinos. This is where that's like a casino's like death sentence, right? Oh man. People will tend to learn about that stuff too. I've been hit from a few different coins. Lost value, a lot of value in Neo. Let's see here. My $2,000 investment is like $400 now. So I'm like upside down and sideways on it. It's like no more staking for me. Yeah, if it's sitting there and going, hey, I've got a product for you. I'm gonna guarantee you 180% APY. And you're gonna be like, wow, man, that's a lot of money, man. So how are you getting the money? Should be your very next question is, how do you make money? How can you give me 150%? What are you selling? And they go, well, we're selling more token. Okay. So what's the token for? So you can so that you can play in the DeFi market. So you can do all the swaps and stuff like that. So where does this 150% APY come in? How do you make that money? Oh, by selling more coin. So you need new buyers or old buyers buying more coin. Exactly. That's a Ponzi. No, that's DeFi. No, that's literally what a Ponzi is that you need new buyers or old buyers to be continuously pumping money in so that the old buyers have the ability to pull liquidity out. If you can't figure out what the product is, you are the product. DeFi, CeFi, all that stuff, you are the product. NFTs, I can arguably say that you are the product. I don't care that there's this stupid pixelated art that has absolutely no value that you can just copy paste. Who cares if you have a digital asset? All you have is a non-fungible token that just so happens to have some kind of wacky artwork embedded into the hash function. You own a token, not art. IP rights still reside with the owner. This is why the NBA moments, the ESPN moments, the ESPN moments are getting criticized right now because you don't own it. People have an idea that, oh, I bought this NFT moment from ESPN. Well, guess what? ESPN still owns the rights to it. People were having an expectation that they would buy this, and anytime their little clip was played, that they would get royalties from it. Since it never happened, people claimed it was a scam. They are now under ridicule over this. This is why it's all a security. What up, Robert? Holy cow. Wow, OG in the his house. What's up? If the APY sounds too good, they are fractional reserve lending your money. The House of Cards, the House of Cards stands until the winds of crypto winter blow. That is so true, Robert. Oh my God. Long time no see. Glad to see you are still around, homie. Yo, that is awesome. It's like, yep, I just mine my own wallets and hold. I mine poop coins for Bitcoin. So I mine what's easy enough to mine with GPUs, and then I convert as fast as I can into Bitcoin. I don't care about holding on to these other coins in any way, shape, or form. Bitcoin pays my bills, not these poop coins. Period. But seeing that we're seeing a lot more of these DeFi markets collapsing in on themselves, because they either have security issues going on, they've got this, that, and the other, all issues going on, all that stuff, right? Hold on one second. I'm gonna grab something out of my fridge. Hold on. The wife wanted me to pull the steaks out so they can start getting up to room temperature. It's like, I'm still alive in the green. As funny as it sounds, in this market. Yeah, that is so true, man. That is so true. And I've got my mining facility up and going. So I've got a hosting facility going, my dude. So me and Mikkel, didn't see that coming, eh? So yeah, we've got a Bitcoin mining facility. We'll do hosting, so we'll host other people's GPU rigs, ASIC rigs. I've got my own ASIC rigs, and I've been still got some of my GPUs, still running over there. But yeah, we're me and Mikkel are doing good over here, getting things going, like me and Mikkel have always talked about. But yeah, glad to see you are around, my dude. And then talking about, Binance having a problem with their with their own native token. Also, the first thing that you start noticing on here, also, guys, is bam. Coinbase to halt trading of the Binance USD for not meeting its listing standards. So as Robert Scully was over there saying, it works until it doesn't. When the winds of crypto winter blow through, the house does not stand. Yes, 100%. Still have the cat on the shelf. Yo. Yep, Coinbase delisting BUSD for not meeting listing standards. Now, if you guys weren't paying attention to this with all the stuff, so the New York stopped the bank that was issuing their stable token to halt because they were doing something shady on the backside. So now BUSD no longer meets the standard, and it is getting delisted, guys. And it's like all these exchanges are all slowly imploding here. And as much as people hate it, out of all the garbage exchanges out there, Coinbase seems to be the one that's being the least affected by this. So obviously they're running Coinbase more like a standard business, and just trying to navigate the waters of what the government regulations are. And as much as everybody likes to dog on Coinbase, they're one of the few, of the crappy exchanges that has been trying to do the right thing. And it's some of the reasons why I shy away from, your crappy little exchanges like that, like Coinbase, and opt for like using, Swan Bitcoin. I mean, it's not a shill to them or anything like that. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not like I get paid for it, but it's a Bitcoin only exchange. And it's from, an OG in the space. Cannot sit there and knock it whenever, you don't have to worry about this being delisted off of there. Now, where are you going to sit there and offload your garbage coins, because it's being delisted. Like, for me, it's the only off-ramp into fiat. Do not keep anything in there. Facts. I used them, And there's a few different ways of offloading your Bitcoin. If you need to use it for paying bills or whatnot, like if you're living on that sweet busy Bitcoin like I do, um, you got uh, crypto, you got crypto credit card wallet credit cards that are like act like prepaid credit cards, so you only put a little bit of Bitcoin on there when you're planning on exchanging it out into fiat, and you got a little credit card you just swipe out. Cash App's really good with that if it's offered in your area, where it's this way you don't have to be stuck with Coinbase. I mean, like, you're gonna KYC wherever you off ramp anyway. So you're giving up your personal data already, trying to offload it. But if you want to offload it in an area where you got less issues with, I mean, I've been using Cash App for like or something like Cash App. I've been using them for like a year, and I've had zero issues utilizing them. There's different credit cards that offer Bitcoin only. Like you can sit there, I think you could sit there and put a few different coins on there, like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and exchange out, and have cash on a credit card. So, but yeah, I would only suggest to put in there only what you're planning on exchanging out for cash, 100%. Outside of that, my crypto does not leave the wallet. May look into that. Yeah, for sure, nerd. For sure. I try to be try to be some good, useful knowledge there. Man, who's the other credit card company that? No. Oh, it was crypto.com. I kept on thinking it was, but crypto.com, I wouldn't mess with them. Crypto.com's got some problems going on. I think Coinbase even has a credit card now too. I wouldn't do BlockFi. BlockFi is done. Crypto.com has it, but I don't remember if crypto.com busted too. Like they're having massive issues. I wouldn't touch them at all. So that was the other one. So it'd be like something like Cash App. And what I like about, let's see here, can I show it without showing any real info on it? Hold on, guys. If I could show it with no real info. Oh yeah, I can. And the credit card's pretty cool looking. You can customize it on Cash App. Yo. And yes, Cash App has a Lightning network. So yeah, I mean, there's always multiple ways of doing off ramps. You can sit there and get a burn phone, and I mean, I'm not telling you guys what to do here, but you can get a burn phone, and you can go to Bitcoin ATMs and sit there and pay with have a like a Wasabi wallet or something like that on your phone, and sit there and send it right there and get the cash out of the machine right there. Yeah. Oh yeah, I would never touch any of those crypto lending platforms with a 10-foot pole right now. I was sitting there talking crap about them from the day one. I was like, these things are like, where are they getting the returns on it? How are they offering you 8%? I'm like, you don't even get that at the bank. It's like I have a little bit of background from the regular financial institutions. Doesn't mean that I know everything, but like they don't even offer that to you in a bank. To sit there and invest with them into a bank, you're not getting 8%, 7% at a bank. So how in the world is, and I always scratched my head with Celsius, and I feel bad with, I feel bad for everybody that touched Celsius because they were believing in the product that Alex Mashinsky made. He's the godfather of voice over IP. You know, so I mean, he is the VoIP guy. Everybody trusted that, you know, he's gonna look out, he's gonna do the right thing. You know, he's an OG in the space, and nope. It's like, yeah, Robert. It's like, well, friends, stay strong. Now is the time to pick winners for the next bull run. Yeah. I got an email. I may be able to get my crypto out since it's on custody account. Got lucky with that one. Oh, wow. Oh, I wish you luck on that one. I wish you luck. For sure, Robert. You have a good one, dude. We got to catch up one of these days. For sure. 100%, homie. So, all right. Well, with that one being said, that's pretty much all the articles that I had going on for today. Thank you, everybody, for this great conversation. Getting out some good information to you guys. If you guys got any comments or questions, certainly do ask away. Otherwise, if you don't have any comments or questions, drop an FA in the Chizity chat, guys. Drop FAs in the chat, guys, because you guys are rated F for frickin' awesome. Yo! Yeah, that's right, guys. So either ask a question or drop an FA. And while you're dropping those FAs, smash that Lizzie like button if you haven't done so. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, share this out on your favorite social media, especially if you think the information here could help at least one person. Because if I can help at least one person, I've done my job. Yo. Come on, everybody. At least drop some FAs in the Chizity chat. At least drop some FAs. Oh, wow. I eventually figured out I had to grab a board. I had a board that had a server capability on it. I had to enable the server capability on it. That's a good question, nerd. I never went back and did a video on it because it was quite disappointing. The K80 hashed away somewhere around like, it was like 14 mega hash on Ethereum for something like 135 watts. It was not practical. And that thing got so hot. Oh my God. And I fashioned a good fan on there. I had a Delta fan blowing down the throat of this thing. And it still got quite toasty. I mean, it not burnt up or anything. I mean, but it reached like 68C, and it was like, holy cow. No new miner is has the library for it. I had to use an ancient miner that will not have any support with the new coins, unfortunately. I would absolutely love to, nerd, because I've still got the K80 sitting on my shelf over there. So I mean, I've got the K80 sitting over there. I've got my my GTX 550 Ti sitting over there. I mean, it's like I've got equipment over there, but unfortunately none of the newer miners have the drivers built into it to run the K80 anymore. there was only like 2 miners that I was able to find, and one of them was CPU miner, and it was an old version of the CPU miner. Yeah, but it's 2G, it's 2 cards. So realistically, it's 12 gigabytes of GDDR3. But unfortunately, it's in the mining software, so none of the mining software supports it. That's the problem. So because the K80s took a special driver that nobody has used in a long time. So I mean, unless you know of a miner that works with the K80 and can mine Dynex, I'll do it if you can find it. Baller nerd, let me know if you can find it for me. I'll hash on it. I've got the K80 over there. I've got a motherboard to plug it into. It would be absolutely no problem. I'll 3D print a shroud for my Delta fan to just blow air right down the cooling fins. I'll blow those cooling fins out the other end. Like, I do not own the card, but we'll buy one just for testing. It's like, I don't think they're that expensive because of how old they are. But it's like, yeah, I mean, if you can find one, if you can find the miner that'll do it, I'll hash on it. And I'll tell you if it's even worth doing. You know, put it onto a meter, see how much power it's really pulling, and go from there. Some people, yes. Some people, they are being asked. Coinbase is asking you to renew your KYC. They're making sure that everything is up to date because they're going to do this because the SEC is looking into them. So anybody that they did not keep good records on, they now have to update all the KYC to stay in compliance. So I would kind of look at it that way. It's nothing fishy. It's just that the SEC is putting each U.S. exchange under a microscope right now. That's all it is. So if they didn't keep good record keeping, I think they asked me about it too. Anybody else got any comments or questions before I hop up out of here? It's like swell. Yeah. Yep. It's swell. So does anybody else have any other comments or questions before I head out of here, guys? Yo. While you guys are typing away, I'm going to check on this. Ooh. All right. I think I got this thing to stabilize out. Woohoo! I'm like tuning rigs at the facility. We've got a bunch of new rigs that have just got turned on from customers. And I'm like going through and tuning them because like some of these rigs this guy sent us hasn't been on for like 160 days. What is a good ASIC that is low noise that you think that would be worth looking at? Ooh. I like the mini doges. If I was going to be going into something entry level, low noise, I would say the mini Doges. They're easy. They're easy enough to set up. You can put them right into your room. The fans are really quiet on there. You can sleep next to them, or they're that quiet. And you can put it into low hashing mode, and they'll generate less heat, which means the fans will be on even lower. Well, I mean, that's relative. So if you got good airflow, um, the fans won't be rip roaring like that. I had an S9 in the house, and a bunch of E3 Antminers, and believe it or not, my server cases were louder than the S9 was. Like, the S9 was putting in a little bit of noise, but not like that. And with all this, with my servers on, I was at about 90 decibels, sitting up right against it. My Bitcoin ASICs, anytime I went near my ASIC rack with my decibel reader, it was sitting under 80 dB. But that was in the heat of the summer. So you're talking, my room was at 130 degrees, and the fans were full tilt. Not. How could I put it? Like, unless you're dealing with 130 degree air that doesn't move. If it moves, if you can, the faster you can move the air, the less heat soaked that air is. So I mean, if it's 110 in the shade, well, it's going to be 110 in the mining room. If you move the air fast enough, it will only get to 110, even with all the mining rigs in there. So I mean, in 110 degrees is still got plenty of heat to be able to absorb. So I mean, there's pros and cons on that. Pros and cons. It's like, if you have a heat issue, you move more air. That's just the plain simple thing. I mean, that's why cars can drive in Texas in the middle of the desert and they don't break down, because the air that's going through the radiator still can pull heat. You just got to move it faster. So that's the reason why cars are equipped with fans, because it's not, the fans aren't there so that when you're driving down the road, you're utilizing a fan. No, the fans are there so that when you come up to a stoplight or a stop sign, the fans turn on to simulate your car driving 40 miles an hour down the road. Period. You're simulating airflow. So, yes, it's like, if just because it's, something's hot, if it's hot, just move more air. That's the solution to it. You don't need any kind of cooling setup on there. No water walls. No, I call them rust out walls, because the moisture in the air will start rusting out all your components over time. And you don't need to use an AC unit, because those would be just two giant, money sucks. You just need more airflow. That's all it is. What up, the Deadwood? What's up, my dude? Right as I'm sitting here getting ready to sign off, just kind of going through it, having people asking great questions, my dude. So depending on your setup, you can get a What's Miner M30 plus plus. That's 110 terahash of the Bitcoin, and just move a lot of air. Put the sucker into you can put it into like a cooler, cut some holes out of it, and put some fans into it, and just make it, where it's got fresh air in and it exhausts the heat out, not into the same room that it's sitting in, and they'll stay up pretty nice. Those miners are good to 110 degrees ambient air temperature, and they're good. I'll attest to you that I was mining with one of mine, and it was about 125 in the mining facility, and my What's miners were perfectly fine. Just saying. What do I know though? Just saying. So does anybody got any other comments or questions before I sign up out of here? But yeah, I mean, if you put ASICs into coolers and stuff like that, or you put them into silencer boxes, you can cut the noise out of there and get some pretty baller ASICs if you've got the power. That's usually the problem that most people have with the power side of it. It's not so much the noise. It's 3,000 watts, 240 volt. You know, it's 3,500 watts, 240 volt only. So you're looking at, it's going to basically eat up the majority of a 30 amp 240 circuit. So, the Wi-Fi's getting home, so I have been streaming for a hot minute, getting into good conversations with all of you awesome people. It's like, nope, have a great night. Sorry, I was late. No problem, Deadwood, no problem. It's like I got 2 dedicated 30 amp circuits in my garage just for mining. Nice. I've got 2 30 amp circuits in my little room over here too, just for mining. I'm in the same boat as you. So I mean, you're gonna want to, if you're gonna do ASICs, you're gonna want to do ones that you could deploy a lot of them on in with the 30 amp circuit. And realistically, you're going to be looking at the gold shell miners. You're going to be looking at like some of the Litecoin miners. Litecoin miners are not loud. They're not too bad. If you can get your hands on a Cadena one, but those are ungodly expensive still for what they are. But Litecoin, Dogecoin, anything that mines Litecoin will mine Dogecoin. If you didn't know that, you dual mine with that. And so, I mean, basically, if you're not doing Bitcoin, you're basically going to be going into Litecoin mining, which that's pretty decent right now. Or you're going to be looking at one of many Ethereum miners that you can get your hands on, if you can get your hands on them too. I know, exactly. It's like those Cadena miners are expensive. Exactly. But look at the gold shell miners like the mini Doge or something like that. You can, the mini Doges are like 250 or 230 watts. So I mean, you could sit there and deploy a bunch of them. They could be deployed on 110. I deploy on everything on 240 volt. You're already set up the same way, nerd. So I mean, this will be just perfect for you. You just sit there and start plugging in with HP power server grade power supplies, and power on a few of those mini Doges on there. Any of the Ethereum Classic miners, if you wanted to go down that route. But yeah, I mean, I'm going down the route of Bitcoin, so I'm like slowly going more and more heavily into the Bitcoin ASICs. Not that I'm sitting here saying that GPU mining's dead, or I'm gonna be all out of GPU mining. I mean, I've got majority of my GPU rigs at the farm. I've got 4 rigs here at the house still. I was able to push all my noisy stuff out of the house. But yeah, no problem, nerd. No problem. So yeah, if you haven't done so, nerd, I got Discord links down below. Love to have you part of the fam, guy. So love to have you join. Get in there. If you've got any questions, you can hit me up in there, or got any other kind of mining style questions, you can sit there and ask away in there. There's a great bunch of people that will be more than happy to help you out if I'm not available on there. So with that being said, also, if you are wanting to have your rigs hosted at the family mine, guys, I implore you to go into the Patreon, links down below. Get into the pseudo hasher tier. This will guarantee you a VIP slot for your rigs. because once we open up our doors, it's going to be a free for all, and I'm expecting that all the room gets filled up immediately. Immediately. That's what I'm kind of figuring that's about to happen once we are green lighted, right? So I want to make sure that all of you awesome people have your chance if you're wanting to utilize our services to host for you. You'd be looking at 9 cents per kilowatt hour. Yo, cheapest around. Go shop. And it's like we'll sit there, host your stuff. It'll be in a great hands, and we're looking into getting some cameras in that we can have you guys actually log into to actually be able to look at your rigs hashing away and all that good stuff. So if you guys are wanting to have your rigs hosted by us, join the Patreon. Links down below. With that being said, thank you everybody for being here. Peace out, stay savage, and may your watts be low and your hash be high. And I'll see you on the next one. Yo.